This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here today. Let's go ahead and get started. We have a lot. Look, it's about to go down. I really do believe it. I can't pretend to know when. I just feel like it's imminent and it absolutely is going to happen. And what do I mean by that? I feel like the adoption of XRP and the XRP ledger will be picked up as the universal protocol for cross-border payments. I really do believe that. And if I'm wrong, well, I'll make that video when it's time to. But until then, that's where I'm at. And I think I'm about to show you the evidence that really leans very heavily into that idea. So before we do, let's do the numbers. Guys, the numbers are brought to you this morning by PureVPN. If you want to help hide your anonymity online, PureVPN is one of the many layers of security that I use online. I have a link in the description along with others. You can click on that for anything you may want or need. All the links are trusted and vetted links, so make sure you check those out. BTC this morning, $11,396.45. Ethereum, $380.66. XRP is 25 cents strong. Let's take a look at it. 0.2524. Market cap is 11.4 billion plus. 24-hour volume is 1.4, almost 1.5 billion. We're down almost 2% on the 24-hour. The total circulating supply changed and went up by 76 million. XRP in the total circulating supply. Shout out to Hiding Out Now, who brought that to my attention. That must have changed after we called the numbers yesterday morning, which is why I call them once a day. 45 billion, 236 million plus now. Now think about that. We've added 76 million to the total circulating supply, and that number is 25 cents strong. She ain't dipping none. Something's going well. That's all I can tell you. And I think when I see that, for those that don't know, I feel like when we see more come to the total supply, I feel like what you're seeing is a preparing for more liquidity demand. That's how I see that. So, all right, with that being said, let's go ahead and unpack this thing. Guys, Ledger, check it out. Got a description, link for that too if you need one. They now are offering fingerprint authorization. Oh, I like this. I like this a lot. So I wanted to highlight that. I do have a link, and I do know that they're running a sale right now on a family pack. It's almost $40 off. So check that out. Bond Crypt, thank you this morning. I wanted to remind everybody, we covered this quite heavily yesterday, but I just wanted to remind everybody as we move into this information we're about to look at, that 100 Italian banks are on R3's Corda Settler, the Spunta project built on the R3's Corda platform is now housing 100 Italian banks, and they're officially operating on that blockchain network. Oh my, oh my. Let's keep it going. Stuart Alderati. The G20 realizes that our current global financial infrastructure is in dire need of an upgrade. We applaud the Financial Stability Board for charting a path to improve cross-border payments through public and private partnerships, bringing widespread benefits for citizens and economies worldwide. Well said, Stuart Alderati. Now, I'm going to play this clip for you of about 28-30 seconds here from the Financial Stability Board. But if you haven't seen the video from yesterday, I am going to put that video in the end of this video. You'll see that come up as like choices to click on. Make sure you click on it and watch those. It is powerful. And in fact, we're going to take a quick look after this at the PDF file so you know what you're seeing. Let's see what we got here from the Financial Stability Board.
Cross-border payments sit at the heart of international trade and economic activity. However, for too long, cross-border payments have faced four key challenges: high costs, low speed, limited access, and insufficient transparency. Faster, cheaper, more transparent, and inclusive cross-border payments would bring widespread benefits to supporting economic growth, international trade, development, and financial inclusion.
And there you have it. and he's talking about cross-border payments. The CPMI chair and Bank of England and everybody else is involved with the FSB. If you don't know, the Financial Stability Board is a regulatory agency connected to the G20. Very, very important what you're hearing here. They recognize that they need to update the global financial infrastructure. Okay, that's protocols, that's payment systems. What has Ripple and XRP been doing from day one? Here is a little highlight that we looked at yesterday. It was the regulation, supervision, oversight of global stablecoin arrangements in order to deal with this new upgrade to the financial infrastructure. You're going to need to have what they say is global stablecoin arrangements, which is basically a digital coin that is accepted in all the different jurisdictions around the world. Yeah, I wanted to highlight this little fun fact here. This document is absolute fire, by the way. Cross-border challenges are inherent to global stablecoin arrangements. They eased which stablecoin arrangements and entities providing various functions and activities within the arrangements can operate across borders and reorganize or relocate the activities, challenges, and effectiveness of regulation, supervision, oversight, and enforcement at jurisdictional levels. A stablecoin issued in one jurisdiction may be easily accessible online to users in another jurisdiction. Operational and cybersecurity risk related to the technology and infrastructure used in a stablecoin arrangement may affect the operation of the global stablecoin arrangements across multiple jurisdictions. Ladies and gentlemen, the governance, the arrangements, the underpinning, the operations, and the infrastructure should therefore be of interest to regulators in all jurisdictions where the stablecoin arrangements has activities. I would remind people, again, the XRP ledger, universal highway with the ILP, everything is interoperable across that network. And, I would also remind people that right before last year's swell, because swell started early this morning over in, the UK, I believe. And we'll keep an eye out for that, anything to pop out of that conference. And the reality is last year, right before swell last year, David Schwartz came out and put out the video that you could launch stablecoins off of the ledger. Things that make you go, Well, let's build on it because it gets even better. Remember this little fun fact from Glenn Hutchins, one of the investors in this fourth industrial revolution, investing in the companies in this space? That's right. Former president of the Federal Reserve in New York. Also investor in Digital Currency Group with Barry Silbert. Also an investor in Ripple. Coinbase, forget about it. This guy is in the heart of this. Listen to this little quick 1.5 minute clip here.
So you use a series of protocols every day and you don't even think about them. You don't think about the internet protocol, you don't think about the simple mail technology protocol, you don't think about the file transfer protocol, you don't think about the high text translation protocol. I can go through them, right? You just make use of the technology and the protocols make it work. The people who really understand what's going on with digital currencies understand that putting these protocols in place, the blockchain protocol, the Ethereum protocol, the Ripple protocol.
Whoop, he said it, didn't he? Keep listening.
And then enabling those protocols to cause transactions to occur. And then those transactions can be defined very broadly as not just moving things of value, but anything that's got an information content is extraordinarily transformative. The focus on the value of the token is distracting and uninformative.
And you can't say it any better than that. And I'll tell you what, it takes me right back to what the G20 Financial Stability Board is saying right here, that they recognize that there needs to be a global infrastructure update, an upgrade. That is exactly what he's talking about here, is that the value is in the protocol. We build on. Well, this is interesting because remember, just recently here, it was announced, and David Schwartz, shout out to you. Hope you're having a great time at Swell and the ankle's healing well. The XRP ledger was built for payments, and the XRP Foundation was built to support the XRP ledger. From all of us at Ripple, we're looking forward to building with you. Well, this is a decoupling right here. This is a fly be free. You're out of the nest. A shoving off, a christening of the boat, right? It's the whole bit. It's really that moment. And this is about separating Ripple, the company, I believe, from the XRP ledger, because they know what the demand is from the Financial Stability Board. They understand that it's about the technology and the infrastructure to run these global stablecoin arrangements and or payments of whatever you're going to use to make that happen, just as Glenn Hutchins understands it. And now you see the XRP ledger have its own nonprofit independent foundation exist to support its growth. Well, moving on, then we remember just a few days ago, we heard what? Ripple is entering the lending business. That's right. XRP Credit Lines. Guys, if you haven't seen the video I did yesterday or the day before with Mickey B. Fresh, I highly recommend you watch that video. Great video. So Ripple is in the lending business now. XRP Credit Lines for payments and to scale your business. It's pretty interesting stuff here. So moving on to that, we go here. Yesterday, digital asset investor, shout out to him, had an opportunity to sit down and talk to Miguel Villas briefly about the news of the XRP credit lines that Ripple will be issuing from their own bags to companies. And listen to what Miguel Villas says here. This is quite interesting here.
I don't think that we're going to be accounting for things in Bitcoin or XRP in the foreseeable future, right? So things will still be used, and the unit of account will still be the currencies. So if there were like an incredible rush of demand for XRP to use as a settlement, asset globally, more likely than not, what would happen is the price would have to adjust to be able to facilitate that, right? And
that's quite a statement right there. And shout out to Miguel Villas and all the hard work he's put in to helping Ripple when he at his time there. And shout out to him and all the stuff they're doing there at Link2 too. I will be doing a lunch and learn with him next week, I believe, the 21st. And if you guys are able to, you should sign up for that event. It is on my Twitter page, and definitely go there and sign up for that and register for Link2, by the way. That is going to be a great hang. Now, let's keep this moving, because what he just said here is a very, very important thing. It's what I've been talking about all along. It's, in my eyes, I reference it as a price set, right? What he's referencing as is just, if you have enough people that want to adopt this thing for cross-border payments, the price would need to adjust to be able to accommodate that massive amount of utility. That's what we're talking about here. That's what I've been talking about since I started this channel. And I think when you look at, honestly, when you look at the information we're talking about here from the Financial Stability Board, the G20, an international collective and consortium of the world's biggest players agreeing that they need to upgrade the financial infrastructure, knowing that Ripple has played long ball in putting the market infrastructure in place. No, we know the level and depth of these partnerships and customers that they have with RippleNet. It is enormous, right? And then moving on, and recognizing the importance of that protocol and the XRP ledger getting its own wings, right? That is really, really an important moment. Knowing that Ripple is now going to be a lender of last resort, like a central bank. Are we about to see Ripple become and grow into a central bank of sorts? Well, hell, and if we're speculating here, and we certainly are, this all started with the Fed. This all started with the Fed. Do we see Ripple become a new central bank like the Fed? We know the Fed is certainly burdened with the world and the debt that it's created and the printing of the money. And what do we do when XRP is chosen and the ledger is chosen as a universal highway for payments, and a regulatory framework involves the use of XRP, which I think we can lean into very heavily because of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau citing that SWIFT GPI and the XRP and Ripple are a solution that have been tucked into an effective rule for cross-border payments for banks and credit unions. What are we to make of all of this? Well, I don't know, but I tell you, when I think about the idea of a large amount of global players or entities deciding to use something like this. I'm reminded of the Deloitte article here, which we're going to read right now. Deloitte, by the way, one of the four largest accounting firms, consultancy agencies in the world, writes a document here. They break down Bitcoin and XRP throughout the document. I'm going to save you and take you right to the heart of it. Money is a technology resolving obligations between individuals who don't know or don't trust each other and for whom barter is too awkward. The strongest possible driver for national adoption of a cryptocurrency is for the national government to mandate the taxes be paid in the cryptocurrency. Absolutely, and we're going to talk about taxes in just 1 second. Similarly, the strongest possible driver for global adoption of a global reserve currency would be global institutions that can force their will on most cross-border trade, mandating its use. Listen here.
For XRP to use as a settlement, asset globally, XRP to use as a incredible rush of demand so if there were like an incredible rush of demand for XRP to use as a settlement, asset globally, more likely than not, what would happen is the price would have to adjust to be able to facilitate that, right?
And that falls very hard in line with the strongest possible driver for global adoption of a global reserve cryptocurrency would be global institutions that can force their will on most cross-border trade, mandating its use, a rush for demand, if you will. And that takes us there. Let us not forget that in Q2, Ripple also reminded us that Ripple has been a buyer in the secondary market and may continue to undertake purchases in the future at market prices. In other words, we're a client just like anybody else. The secondary market are the exchanges you and I buy XRP from. So now they're lending their own stash, and they've told us they'll go out on the secondary free market and buy it off of the exchanges just like any other customer can. Well, this looks like to me as a great beginning of monetary policy. They can lend it out and give lines of credit, and then they can turn around and buy it off the market. Just like Seigniorage and the Accelerator program, only now they're able to participate in this program in large part because they don't have control of the XRP ledger anymore. That's now off on its own, got its own wings, fly be free, and we can use it just like a product that anybody else is using in the world. And that's exciting to me. And it's exciting to me because regulation is lining up in my eyes with what I see with the motion from Ripple and the use and adoption of XRP. Now, here is a little send-off right here. This is a conversation from PwC, another one of the top 4 accounting firms in the world, talking about tax policy. If you remember, we talked about 1 and 2 pillar approach for international tax policy when it comes to digital currencies and digital transactions. Listen to this short exchange here, and then we'll wrap this thing.
But I do think that there is a possibility for unilateral measures to continue. Certainly that's been something that some governments have said, that they would move ahead with digital services taxes if there wasn't agreement by the end of 2020. And then, in many respects, Pillar 2 doesn't require agreement among governments. Countries can pick that up, as the US, of course, already has, and enact measures under Pillar 2.
And that really sums it up right there. Now, she does say, in full disclosure throughout this 5-minute piece, she finds it unlikely that the world would work that way where they would move without one another. But the reality is that she does lay it down that it is possible for them to move in a unilateral way where, in other words, I'm not going to wait for the other one. And you know what that does? That forces a solution in itself, because the rest of the world's like, I'm not going to sit back and watch country A defeat or get ahead of country B. We already know where that conversation's going. So to me, it's exciting because here is your last keystone that needs to fall into place here. Taxes. Like it or not, taxes. So this is really what we're waiting on, I believe, and we get this agreed upon internationally. I think it's personally behind the scenes. I've seen enough reports to know XRP and the ledger have been cited as a solution And I believe at some point, not too far in the distant future, we will get the opportunity to see it go down, and it'll be less a conversation from a YouTuber, and it'll be a bigger conversation for the world. All right, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Check out those links. And remember, click on that video. I'm going to put that Mickey B. Fresh video and a couple others in the Financial Stability Board. Make sure you check them out. I'll catch all of you on the next one.